Ayo, keep it high, keep it tight. It's Jay Morse, the review guy, back to bring you another review. And in this one, I'm going to be reviewing Shawn Mendes' self-titled album, which was released May 25th, 2018 on Island Records. Okay, so this is a pop album. Shawn Mendes is pretty well known, and something I want to kind of touch on before I get into the actual portion of the review is this was a requested album. So this was requested by Serdeo. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You requested this album, and I think it was Troye Sivan. No, it wasn't. It was Charlie Puth's new album in a video that was a bit back, and it popped into my head today, and I was like, I've heard this album. Why not review it? And because you requested it, that makes it even better. So do leave your album suggestions in the comment section below, because I don't make any qualms about genre. I will review anything. And if it's something you guys want, then hey, upvote it and request whatever albums, however many albums you want, and you could spawn a review in the future. So today we are covering Shawn Mendes' self-titled album. It's 14 tracks, and I can sum this up pretty easily. This is a pop album. It is a fluffed up production pop album. You're gonna get these glossy, great instrumentals that are very poppy. You're gonna get good mixing, good production quality. This album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, so obviously he's very popular right now. And this album doesn't come without its pitfalls, without its kind of tropes and cliches, but it also has some good things about it. One thing I can commend this album for is Shawn Mendes' album is pretty different in terms of voice. He has a very good voice, to be honest. I mean, he keeps it fresh, he keeps it good, and he goes between registers, and he changes things up enough with his vocalization that it keeps it unique, it keeps it kind of new, and that does break through some of the pitfalls which kind of fall under the glitzy pop tropes where the lyricism is nothing you haven't heard before, and a lot of the topic matter, a lot of the kind of some of the instrumentals, they're not anything you haven't heard before, but Shawn Mendes has some of the best vocals of any male singer at the moment when you think of just pop by itself. Now, I'm not talking about like crossover people like Eminem and NF, like being rap pop, or The Weeknd and Bruno Mars being kind of R&B, funkish type of electronic hip hop rap pop. Does that make sense? But basically, when it comes to just strictly pop sounding albums, Shawn Mendes is pretty good at it. And this is one of the better pop albums that I have heard in a while. I'll go ahead and say that. And with the track listing, there's not really any songs that stand out to me super. I like Where Were You in the Morning and Nervous, is that what it's called? And the Lost in Japan, in my opinion, is a little overrated. I know that Lost in Japan is a pretty popular song off of this album and from him in general, but for some reason I didn't get really into that song in particular. Maybe that's just because it feels very similar. Now, one thing I can commend Lost in Japan for, though, is it's pretty unique with its topic matter, and a lot of these are typical pop type like lyricism. It's about love, it's about getting your heart broken, it's about loving someone, it's about that type of stuff. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that type of music or lyricism. It's just the fact that I'm kind of telling you guys that if you go to listen to this album, don't expect any lyricism that isn't something that's been done before. This is pop music. It's not going to be extremely highbrow on the lyrical component side of things, but it's a pop album. So you're going into it to just have fun. You're going into it to just have a nice time. And for the most part, this is a good sounding pop album. His vocalization, and combined with some of the fairly interesting instrumentals, make for an experience that is worthwhile. And if you like pop music, that's even more of a reason to listen to this. Is it a must for pop listeners? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that this is the type of album that you gotta rush to listen to if you're a pop album fan because it's the best one ever. It's a pop album, and it's nothing that you haven't heard before. But it's still a good pop album, and the glitzy production quality makes it irresistibly listenable when it comes to just, it'll get your head bopping, it'll get your foot tapping, and it's kind of easy to follow, and it's just fun pop music. So for the most part, I think that this album does pretty good, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because I'm not going to say it's below average, and I'm not going to say it's average. It's above average. But it's not extremely high up on the list when it comes to pop albums because there are better ones. But when it comes to recent output from a lot of pop artists, I think that Shawn Mendes does a good job of keeping it fresh. His vocal style is good. He has some great vocals and some great hooks behind it. And this is definitely a pop album that I can get behind. So post albums that you'd like me to review in the comment section below, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will shout your channel out. You'll be in the description below for the next video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Tell me what you thought of this album if you've listened to it, and thank you, Sir Day or Dio, for recommending me listen to this album and review it. I'll talk to you guys next time, but until then, this has been J Morse Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.
Oh no, what your mama gonna say when I tell her that I broke no heart? Things aren't the way that they used to be. Oh no, now you crying on the bathroom floor, and I guess it's the end. Well, I lost my mind and I lost my